Hey, everybody, this is Nancy Norbeck with this week's Creative Pep Talk. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and I want to tell you a story this week about the origin story of one of my favorite episodes. So, in the third season of the revived series, there is an episode called Blink. And apparently, when writer Steven Moffat set out to write this story, he was originally told that this was going to be a huge blockbuster episode, lots of special effects, huge budget. He could basically do whatever he wanted. And then at the last minute, he found out that, oh no, sorry, budget's been slashed, no special effects. Oh, and also your two leads are barely going to be in it. Sorry, have fun. You can imagine this was not what he wanted to hear. And so apparently he was left at the very last minute writing this episode in 45 minutes in the back of a cab. And basically he said to himself, well, everybody's going to hate this because the Doctor's not even going to be in it. And so I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. And that's what he did. He made stuff up and expected that everyone was going to hate it and it was going to be terrible. And since then, it has actually turned out to be a classic Doctor Who episode. It is one of the most highly regarded of the new series and probably ever. And everyone loves it. And he has decided that this is a sign that less is more. And he's adopted a more bare bones approach since then, supposedly. I don't know. You could argue that. That's a different conversation for a different day. And there's merit to that. Absolutely. But that's not why I'm telling you this story. I'm telling you this story because I suspect that the reason that this episode is so good is because Steven Moffat lowered his expectations because he didn't have a choice. And it pretty much deliberately sat down and made bad art. Because he had to. He had nothing to go on. Everything that he had been told was taken from him. His stars were taken from him. The two most important characters in any Doctor Who episode were basically taken from him. And literally his thought was, everyone's going to hate this because the Doctor's not even going to be in it. So what was he going to do? So he just wrote anything. And that's basically what happens when you make bad art. You sit down and you just write any darn thing at all. It's no surprise to me that what came out of that process of saying, well, whatever, actually turned out to be good art. Because when we lower our expectations and have no intention of writing something good, our inner critic gets out of our way. We stop judging ourselves. Our sense of play comes out because there's nowhere to go except what the heck, we might as well have fun with this because it's all ridiculous anyway. And that's where the good stuff tends to come from. We don't think that way because we've been trained to believe that we have to aim high and, quality is the best policy and all of these things. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. Well, it's also true that anything worth doing is worth doing badly. Because when we let ourselves do it badly, great things can happen. It's just counterintuitive because we've been told that it's counterintuitive. This is why my course, Make Bad Art, exists. It exists to help you get out of your own head. Because the more time we spend in our own heads, the harder it is to make good art. And the good art cannot come if we're not willing to let the bad art out with it. The more we judge what we're creating, the harder it is for the good art to come out. And the harder it is for us to do anything because when we're judging ourselves, seriously, when have you ever accomplished much of anything with any kind of ease or, frankly, good quality when you've been busy judging yourself all the time? And I'll bet you, even if you have created good quality under those circumstances, you haven't recognized it because you've been so busy judging yourself for it. It's so much easier to create good art when you get out of your own way and you stop judging yourself and you have compassion for yourself and you play. And it's so much easier to just be in this world under those circumstances too. And that's what I want to bring to you through Make Bad Art. That's the whole point of it. It's kind of a multifaceted thing. I was asked recently, what comes first in Make Bad Art? Is it the shift in your mindset and how you view these things? Or is it the bad art? Well, yes, it's both. They happen at the same time. It's all part of the process, and the process is the key. So I hope that you'll think about this story. Steven Moffat did not deliberately make bad art, but either way, look what happened. He's got a critically acclaimed, amazing episode, which, by the way, stands well on its own. So if you're not a Doctor Who fan, it's great for the Halloween time of year or whenever you happen to be listening to this episode. So go out and find it. He's got an amazing episode because he sat down and he made bad art. What might happen for you? I hope you'll think about it. We start on November 4th, 2024. And if you're listening to this later, I have every intention of continuing to offer this program, so I hope you'll check it out. So with that, either way, go make some bad art. Have fun with it, and I'll see you next time.